hey, Robert.
Well, hello. It's been quite some time since we've done this, it feels like.
I know. I'm sure our many followers are really looking forward to this.
We won't leave you, all 50 of you.
So we were just noticing that I got more views on my show.
We were noticing that? Oh, we were noticing that.
Hey guys, I'm Jesse, the CFP, the guy that's actually more watched on our YouTube channel than this guy right here.
Wow, I'm Robert Hill, just some random PhD that gets to be on Jesse's channel. Lucky me.
Hey, he said it. He said it, not me, right? Cardinal Hill Wealth Management, that's our firm. And we do these because we want to help people and we like to have fun. So we try to make financial planning enjoyable. We love it, so we hope other people do. We're going to dive into just a year-end financial checklist. Obviously, it's not all inclusive, but we're hitting some highlights here, and we'll get rolling. Try to get done really quick, and we need to do another bourbon tasting video because those are actually the ones that people watch, I think.
Yeah. Plus, we just got some good bourbon. We drove all around the state and got some pretty good stuff.
We did. All right, so. First one is just a great time of year to just say, you know what, I'm going to boost my retirement contributions, whether it's your 401k or Trad IRA, Roth IRA. Never a bad time to increase that. Obviously, there can be things that will make you decide to put it in just a taxable account versus a qualified account, but it's always a good idea to increase your savings around this time of year.
Absolutely. Next would be making sure that you're using your FSA dollars. So just a reminder, FSA stands for Flexible Spending Account, whereas HSA stands for Healthcare Savings Account. FSA dollars are use it or lose it. And so you get a tax deduction when you defer that money out of your paycheck. But let's say you had $1,500 left at the end of the year. If you don't spend it, then it goes bye-bye. Yeah. So don't waste your own hard-earned money.
And there are sites, like you can go to our YouTube video that we did talk about these, but there are sites that are specific ways that you can spend your FSA money if you can't think of a way to spend it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then also just making those HSA contributions. I think the law is, we just looked at this, you actually have just like a Roth IRA or something until April 15th to make those, I believe.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So you can do those contributions until you file your, April 15th, the tax deadline, not the extension, but.
Right.
So, also it's just a great time to be thinking about taxes and managing those taxes. A couple things that we'll hit on that is, if you know you're going to be bumping up into a high tax bracket, you may be able to delay payments for certain things. If you can hold off until 2024, then you'll be able to hopefully save some money on taxes. Now, if you're going to make just as much or more next year, it doesn't matter all that much, obviously, but there's just a couple of things to be aware of on that front if you can.
Mm-hmm. Along with taxes, if you've had a change in your situation, let's say you started a small business, or maybe you're exclusively work from home, or some of these other things, and you have a rule place in your house that meets what's called the exclusivity requirement of the IRS, which means that room is only used for a home office, you might want to talk to your tax advisor about claiming that deduction. It basically, let's say the room was 10% of the square footage. The big idea is you may be able to say 10% of the house is used as a business expense, and so that can be a good thing to continually reevaluate.
Yeah, talk to your CPA about it. They'll hook you up. They'll make sure that you're doing it by the book. Rebalance your portfolio. It's on there. Yeah, I think for sure you should be doing that at least once a year. That's not advice. That is just my suggestion that it might work well for you. And the other thing that I want to hit on is charitable giving. So we just talked about taxes. A great way to lower your taxable income is charitable giving. I'm really pro giving to charity. I think it's a beneficial thing for not just the charity, but also for us personally. But in that, I think really thinking through, if you're over 70, you can do what's called a QCD, or qualified charitable distribution. So you may be having to take RMDs or not, but you can still give to your charity from your IRAs. Great strategy to help reduce taxes in the future as well as this year. So something to think about. If you have questions about it, just give me a shout. We can talk about it.
Next is if you have stock options, there's different types, ISOs and RSUs and different things. It's always a good idea to look at what's the plan for that, look at your vesting schedule and things of that nature, and then also to consult a tax professional about how those stock options may influence alternative minimum tax or AMT. Most people don't realize, but the tax code, there's kind of a plan A, which is what most of us do, and then there's this alternative schedule over here to where if you're in higher income levels, certain events can trigger alternative minimum tax, which is a lovely surprise when you get hit with that.
If you're not used to it.
If you're not prepared, it can be a big eye-opener. So always consider that as part of your plan.
And just a minor correction, RSUs don't need to worry about as much as stock options. There are different types of stock options, but RSUs are treated a little bit different for taxes. Okay, so RMDs. Hopefully you've taken your RMD by now. If you haven't, please take your RMD. If you're 72 this year, that's when you want to think about it. Like, you need to start taking them, or you'll have to double up next year. So just make sure that you have gotten your RMD satisfied. The IRS loves to slap a penalty on that, although I've never seen it go through. Usually it's just forgotten on accident. But make sure you get it satisfied so that you don't have to send a letter to the IRS. The next one is something we love talking about a ton. So estate planning, estate plans. Everybody's got one, no matter whether you have actually gone and gotten one that you paid for or not. Every state has an estate plan for you. We're just a big believer in having your own estate plan that you've decided how you would like it to go. And that's just, having a will or a trust and some power of attorneys to go with it, healthcare directive, things like that. And those are really important for end of life. But a lot of times what we have found is parents are not sharing with kids, or kids aren't sharing with parents, but both sides actually do want to communicate about it. There's this desire to share and help everybody understand and be on the same page. With the holidays right now, it is a great time to talk to one another. Just have a family meeting, say we're going to talk about our estate plan, and make sure that everybody understands and is on the same page. I think is really, really important. It's a great time of year to do it.
And then another thing is this is the time to reconsider Medicare open enrollment. And so obviously, if you haven't signed up for that in the past, it's something that you're going to want to look into doing. But also, there's a provision that if you had a Medicare Advantage plan, which is sometimes referred to as a Part C plan, you can change to a traditional Medicare during open enrollment, and then vice versa. And so you have options. You'll want to look at the different pros and cons of those plans, but this is the time of year just to kind of reassess that if you were to do that. And then the last little random thing is just who here is aware of inflation? It's hit all of us like crazy. The good side of that is your house value may have appreciated, but the corollary to that is maybe the replacement cost of that house has gone up with cost of lumber and things like that. So it can make sense to reach out to your property and casualty person, whether that's a broker or if you're using a company, and just reassess your coverage levels for making sure that you're covered appropriately, because your housing costs just
be a bummer.
keep going up. Yep.
Be a bummer if you only covers 2/3 of your house repairs. That'd be bad.
And something happens. So yeah.
Well, that was, I felt we did pretty quick.
That was fast.
I don't know if it was 10 or not, but we did pretty good.
That was good. One thing that we'll ask you, consider please, to help us out.
I was going to forget again.
Is to like and + subscribe to our channels to help us grow. We'd love to help people, and we'll do these videos even if they're for 5 people. We'll keep doing them for you.
For you.
That's right.
We'll do them.
Jesse, what are we drinking here today?
I just have some nice cold filtered water.
I have boosted my water with some
some
pink drink electrolytes.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Tasty advice.